What's going on, everybody? It's your boy T-Money, and we're back for another video. Today I'm protecting the entire lottery of 2020 NBA Draft, similar to an NFL Draft breakdown. I'm going crazy. Not too much on stats, but I am going to point out a lot of traits and causes for concern. Like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Now, without further ado, we got to get into the video. Starting off with the Detroit Pistons, they select Cade Cunningham, number 1 overall. The 6'8", 220-pound point guard was electrifying at Oklahoma State. He possessed a high basketball IQ, deep arsenal moves to the point in the court, and the ability to guard the 1 through 3, maybe even the 4. As an added bonus, he's a pretty good shooter, 40% from 3 to be exact, and he can play off the ball. However, I would not call him an elite passer for a point guard, and he might force passes out of panic. However, I would not call him a consistent player either, which is perfectly normal for a young guard. And despite that, he is the number 1 prospect, head and shoulders above everybody else. Next are the Houston Rockets, who, while they won't get Cunningham, they will get the next best thing in Jalen Green. The 6'6" shooting guard showed off his freaky athleticism at G League Ignite last year and has some serious potential. He's already a somewhat efficient shooter, which for a high-volume scorer is a very good look. He's exceptional at attacking the basket and is an elite finisher. His defensive potential is high, but he needs to improve his awareness on that end of the floor. While he hustles relatively well, he makes one too many mental mistakes on that end of the floor for my liking. His passing still has a little bit of room to develop, and could add a creative element to his game to complement his elite scoring. Next up are the Cavs. Y'all are going to select Evan Mobley. The 7', 215-pound center from USC is a true two-way big. He can finish in the post. He even developed a mid-range shot in college. He possesses great defensive awareness and projects to be an elite shot blocker and paint protector. However, a three-point shot would be nice, and maybe some more finesse to his post game. Also, you're 215 pounds. I would like to see you gain some weight, buddy. Now, we move around to the Toronto Raptors. You select Jalen Suggs from Gonzaga. Kyle Lowry is not getting any younger, guys, and we need a future complement to Fred VanVleet in that Toronto backcourt. The 6'4", 205-pound guard from Gonzaga is a high IQ player, and his athleticism, specifically his speed, makes him a tantalizing prospect. Not to mention he's already a defensive stalwart, and he can create for himself and others. He finishes relatively well for a guard. He has all the intangibles and has shown leadership. However, no three-point shot, at least not a consistent one. And for the modern NBA, where there's a requirement for all 5 positions to be able to shoot the 3 at a decent clip and consistently, that is not a great look. Now are the Orlando Magic. You're up next. The 6'8", 225-pound point forward is a versatile defender who can do anything on the court. Rebound, defense, playmaking. He's an ideal two-way player. But the jump shot is borderline non-existent, and the development on this facet of his game is a deciding factor on his ceiling. Now with the 6th pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder will select James Bouknight. Bouknight is a 6'5", 190-pound shooting guard from UConn. He had his stock rise due to his potential as a scorer. He looked really good in team workouts and addressed concerns about his jumper. The explosiveness and the finishing are his calling cards, while his creativity and passing are added perks to his game. There are still the aforementioned concerns about how consistent his jumper really is. Plus, will he ever become, let's say, great defender? But outside of that, nothing really to laugh about here. He is a developmental prospect, which, for the Thunder, who are undergoing a total rebuild, he is the perfect asset for them to pick up in this draft. Next up are my Golden State Warriors. Let's go. With the 7th pick, should they keep it, select Jonathan Kuminga. Like Jalen Green, the 6'8", 210-pound small forward spent the last year in G League Ignite. He has some of the highest upside in this year's draft due to the athleticism, the handles, and the rebounding. However, his game is relatively raw as the Congolese prospect is still very new to basketball. His perimeter shot isn't there yet. The defense is pretty inconsistent, and he makes more mental mistakes than Green, and on both ends of the floor at that. However, considering again he's very new to basketball, he's an intriguing developmental prospect, and quality trade aspect for the Dubs should be selected. Next up are the Magic, with the 8th overall pick and their 2nd lottery pick, select Moses Moody. If Barnes couldn't shoot, this man is elite at shooting the ball. The 6'6", 211-pound guard from Arkansas is the best 3-and-D prospect in this year's class. He's athletic, and as we already mentioned, he can shoot the 3. He fits in any system. However, he's not the greatest at drawing fouls or attacking the basket, nor has he ever been a great ball handler, not making it easy for him to be a number one option. However, he's a good complement to Barnes, as their strengths and weaknesses overlap nicely. Next up are the Sacramento Kings. Y'all will select Franz Wagner, 6'9", 220-pound small forward from Michigan. He's a good player in both the half court and in transition, while having a good basketball IQ. He's a good all-around defender in both the half court and transition. But his lack of strength, plus concerns about this man's handle and finishing, give him room to develop, and the Kings cause for concern. Next up are the Memphis Grizzlies, who with the 10th pick select Josh Giddey. The 6'7", 205-pound Australian small forward played in the NBL last year and showed off his elite passing skill. He's also a decent rebounder and can change pace better than expected, but he is no freak athlete, and his jumper, it ain't there yet. Next up are the Charlotte Hornets, who will select Alperen Sengun. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but let's move on. The Turkish center is 6'10", 243 pounds, and played in the Turkish league last year. He's athletic, attacks the basket, and can create for himself and others, but he lacks a three-point shot, which is pretty bad, but he can make free throws, unlike some other big men I know. Plus, I would like him to add some muscle so he can maximize his defensive potential in the post. Now for the San Antonio Spurs, with the 12th pick, select Keon Johnson, the 6'5", 185-pound shooting guard from Tennessee. He's good at attacking the basket, finishing at the rim, and possesses a decent mid-range game while being an average defender. But he is not a good shooter from three, nor is he a good distributor at all. Plus, he needs to add some muscle in order to defend bigger guards. The ultimate developmental prospect, and the quintessential San Antonio Spurs draft pick. Now, with the 13th pick, the Indiana Pacers select Jalen Johnson, the 6'9", 225-pound small forward from Duke. He's athletic, attacks the basket, creates for himself and others, and rebounds well for size. But there is a big reason he's one of the biggest risks in this draft. First of all, he only took 18 threes, and while he made 44% of them, that is too small a sample size to truly judge his shot from behind the arc. But an even bigger concern is his commitment to basketball. He left IMG for undisclosed reasons in the middle of his senior year at a pivotal stretch for the team, and would do the same for Duke after 13 games, which caused concerns about his commitment to the game. On top of that, I also have some concerns about where's his head at, as well as the state of his mental well-being. And finally, with the 14th pick, the Golden State Warriors select Davion Mitchell, the 6'1", 202-pound point guard from Baylor. He's an elite defender with consistent playmaking. He can score on every level, but I don't know if he can do it as consistently as he does create for others. Also, he's 22, which is pretty old for an NBA rookie, causing concerns about his upside. On top of that, people wonder, is he a system player or a genuine lottery prospect? Overall, a lot of questions about this draft class, but also some serious potential. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment below who you think is going to go in the top 5. That's all from me, and peace.